is that true?
When Paralives was first announced what feels like a century ago, I was hyped for it. I absolutely loved playing The Sims growing up, and I say love in the past tense because The Sims got pretty stale for me. I still like The Sims as a game. I played the absolute heck out of Sims 3 for sure, and I also played a bit of Sims 2 and 4. And I'm not the biggest fan of EA as a company, but that's besides the point. The long-awaited Paralives definitely seems to scratch that life sim itch a lot of the community has been wanting again. For me, however, actually there's no however, it did scratch that itch for me too. But fortunately and unfortunately, the game is a bit buggy. I say fortunately because the game was released in early access as opposed to a full 1.0 boom that's the game, because if it was a full 1.0 boom that's the game with some weird bugs, yeah, the community would probably drop Paralives real quick. I say unfortunately though because the game is a tad hard to play at times with weirdness that breaks immersion and gameplay and all. And don't get me wrong, Paralives is not a buggy mess. Now, I won't dig my heels in too badly. It's nowhere near as hard to play as that Pokemon VR game I played recently. Go check out that video if you haven't already. But comparing those two are kind of like apples and oranges. I will also restate, I'm glad this game came out in early access, not only because it's not as polished as it maybe should be, but also because the game has been in development for about 7 years. Waiting for the game for a couple more years, at least, could have maybe lost a lot of hype for people. So overall, I think early access decision was a really good one in my opinion. But with that said, is The Sims cooked? Is The Sims absolutely cooked, chat? Let's find out. Upon loading the game for the first time, I found a little Easter egg right away.
You can click Paralives. It bounces.
Upon starting the game, you are on a train headed to your new life, presumably. You start off by playing as the train conductor, Roberto. You can either select a household to play as or create your own. Now, I love customizing my own characters in games, so I had to make myself. I thought about just making some character, like just some rando to play as, but your boy Reckless wants to play as your boy Reckless. I was kind of confused by the character customizer at first, but it didn't take too long to get the hang of it. And let me say, there's a lot to customize visually. From custom colors to sliders to adjust positions of every body part. I could see how people could get lost in this really easily, just by tweaking every little thing. You can also adjust body hair pretty accurately.
I'm not trying to call myself out or anything, but it looks ugly. Do I look like that?
Now, I feel like I blitzed through making my face, but it did end up taking over 15 minutes still.
There we go, that's more like it.
Afterwards, I checked out the tattoos, and those options are pretty cool.
Tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. Not yet. One day, though. Comment below what my first tattoo should be. If it gets enough likes, I'll do it. What is enough likes? Who knows?
And I absolutely jam with the clothing options.
Oh, it could be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I did find a hoodie that very low-key resembles my signature hoodie, so that's nice. Honestly, a lot of the clothing and accessories options are both practical and quirky. For example, the earrings. The earrings I ended up going with for my character, the little hoops, are practical. But there are also some really quirky options.
Blood bags?
There's even an option for a prosthetic limb. Now that's what I call inclusive. I took another forever to pick my clothing for other scenarios like formal, athletic wear, stuff like that. And now it's time for the personality, and honestly, I was a little underwhelmed by this, especially compared to how customizable a character's visuals can get. The idea of a small and simplified stat tree is nice, mostly for beginners to the game, and heck, the life sim genre in general, but I could see players outgrowing this and wanting more real quick. Along with that, the vibe, social perk, and talent ideas for characters are neat, but there isn't too much to choose from as of now.
Is that really all it asks you for your character?
While I was saving my humble household of one, I realized something.
Maybe I'm a bit too pale.
Anyway, after I finished making my character, I had to finish the tutorial, and that went well.
Joke about the train breaking down? Oh, let's start terribly. Okay, well. Wow, it'd be funny if this train just stopped moving, eh?
You could also choose a storyteller, which is an interesting way of saying the game difficulty. This is very customizable too after you choose one though. I apparently manifested the train actually breaking down because...
Seems like there's an issue with the trains. Anybody here a mechanic? No. I joked about the train breaking down and then it It did?
I couldn't decide where to live for a while, but I figured a pre-built house was a good idea instead of building my own house from scratch. I just say this so I wouldn't spend like another 5 hours making a house, and I could actually just begin gameplay. I explored my newfound home, learned some controls, and I danced in my kitchen for an obscene amount of time. During my time playing Paralives, there were some really little bugs and just weirdness happening, like I mentioned before. Pretty much all of it comes up during gameplay and after the character is made, so I'll sprinkle those throughout the video, starting with the no clipping snack.
Whoa. I was just holding that snack through my hand.
And while I was enjoying my snack, this happened.
Who is laying in the road right now? What are you doing? What? Ma'am. Ma'am. Get out of the road. Jimmy, little Jimmy, get your grandma out of the road. Laying in the road again.
Yeah, being a speed bump, that's a choice. I found some bundles that I could donate to if I had the stuff to.
Community bundle? Is this Stardew Valley? Animal Crossing?
I thought that was pretty cool because it gave me a small sense of direction right from the get-go. Speaking of which, I appreciate the sense of direction the little quests at the bottom right give the player. It'd be great though if it could dive deeper into stuff on how to actually do things. I did find out how to get a job though, the good old Sims technique of using a computer. Or I guess the real-life technique of using a computer. I opted for the receptionist at the museum and library, by the way.
See you next Tuesday, Ryan.
I then made one of the rooms in my house an activity room, and I found out you can resize some furniture, which is huge. Literally. My illiteracy was showing when I spent money on a gaming console in Paralives, only to later realize it literally says it's just for show.
Was that decorative? Can I not do anything with this? Oh wait, these items are purely decorative at the moment. Or folks cannot use them. Glad I could read.
Also, there was a little weird instance of my character refusing to sit down on the couch and watch the TV at the same time.
You know you can sit down. Why do I insist on watching from right here?
I also don't automatically sit down when reading a book, which maybe bothers me more than it should. Unless there's a lot of people that read books standing up out there that want to like fight me in the comments, but I don't do that. I don't even read though. Upon leveling up your personality in Paralives, you can choose an upgrade for your talent, I guess. I wasn't expecting this, but the way this is implemented is a cool and fresh addition to a life sim game in my opinion. And since the game is in early access, they're working on improving these personality level ups, as stated at the bottom. Speaking of early access...
Why am I taking so long to go to bed? Oh, it's because I'm stuck in a wall. Okay. Of course.
Luckily, I found an unstuck button, so the devs are goats for that. They knew this would happen. The next Paralives day, I went to work. Afterwards, I chatted with Juliet from the middle of the road. Talk about social distancing, look at that. I was getting stinky fast, so I needed to cut the conversation and go use a shower. But what happened next will shock you.
It's a joke. What? Why did this go up? I'm showering. Coming into my house. Okay, well. What are we doing? What are we doing? What's going on? Is she showering now? No. What is she doing? She just walked into my house and started using the shower. Bro, what? That's not allowed. You can't just do that. What is Ryan doing? Where'd I go? Why am I standing here? Why am I standing in the road? What is going on? I guess I'm making a self-deprecating joke now.
And with that, ladies and gentlefish, I end my play session for now, laying in the road. Overall, I believe Paralives have The Sims in a chokehold, and honestly, I like seeing a chunk of the Sims community moving over to Paralives, at least for the time being. Even though Paralives is a little unpolished, I'm still rooting for it. I mean, you have fun, you be quirky, but most of all,
Was that true?
Goodbye.